I think you won't get the focus you need unless it's clear two things. One, that there is an ongoing challenge and opportunity. And I think that is not just about COVID. It's about the fact that we are going to have a whole slew of new vaccines, injectables, that are going to deal with some of the worst diseases in the world, that give us the opportunity to make big changes in the health of the world. When it's all said and done, it was still a pretty remarkable operation. And by the way, CEPI did a fantastic job. You guys deserve a lot of congratulations for it. But so I think it's around things like, how do you make sure you get the right scientific cooperation and the cooperation between the regulatory authorities, so in the future you can clear things much faster? For example, on the continent of Africa, if we had an equivalent to the European Medicines Agency, we had an African Medicines Agency that allowed you to have one system, one standard, it would hugely change the way that vaccines and treatments are introduced in Africa. I think there's a huge impetus now for a national digital infrastructure. Digitization in healthcare is, I think, one of the great game changers. We should be helping countries to develop a national digital infrastructure, which they will need with these new vaccines. And then, finally, it's also about showing people and showing the political leadership that you can make a positive difference to your healthcare system by adopting these measures, because they've got an impact beyond any particular disease or pandemic.
There you just had Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of London, or England, giddy about the change of not only our molecular structure as humans, control therein through technology, and the idea of what can be injected. Now, he didn't say that, and I'm reading into it, but I wanted to get your opinion. The multitude of injectables that we're going to be able to do. Bitch, you're not putting nothing in me. I don't even want to get an IV anymore. I don't care if I'm dehydrated. I don't care if I need some potassium. I don't care what I need. Think about that. As a former firefighter, somebody in the back of an ambulance, I would be scared to death if I was in a car wreck and I woke up and there's all these needles in me and bags of drip stuff falling in my body. Can we stop it? Because we have no other... It's almost like we legitimately need to stop this now, or we build our own free infrastructure in hospitals and anything else that has to do with to fight this AI technology-driven being able to basically stick a GPS up our ass and know where we're at any time, shut down our economy because it digitized, shut down our cars because they're all electric, shut down our house because Chad Caton decided to do his I'm Fired Up show and he lost his shit on the computer and they just shut off my internet and my electricity for a week because I was a bad boy. Is that where we're going? Is that what I just heard from none other than the former Prime Minister of England, and Tony Blair?
Yeah, well, you're spot on, and I think that there's another aspect of this as well, because these guys that are there at the World Economic Forum, they are so absolutely arrogant and self-centered, and they think that they know better than you. And not only that, they think that they know better than your doctor about what kind of medical treatment you as an individual should be getting. When you actually think about it, Tony Blair, last I checked, doesn't have any medical expertise, didn't go to medical school, doesn't have any kind of understanding about your personal health history, my personal health history. Do I have allergies? Do I have an autoimmune issue? What's going on here? And they're going to say, no, you need this medical treatment because we say so, as Tony Blair and Klaus Schwab and all these guys, they have no idea about anything. Whatever happened to trusting your doctor, having a conversation with your doctor? But if you noticed during that clip, Bourla, who's the CEO of Pfizer, was 2 chairs over from him. So while you've got Tony Blair talking about, we're gonna have all these injectables, all these vaccines, we've got to have this infrastructure, essentially, in order to make sure that everybody gets injected with all these things, we've got to be able to cancel people that refuse to take the vaccines or whatever it might be. 2 chairs over, you've got the CEO of Pfizer, who, in my opinion, is the ultimate James Bond villain. Who, if you actually look, and I should have pulled a clip and sent it to you, I'm just gonna sound crazy conspiracy theory. I think that dude is actually a reptilian, because I've seen clips of him sitting there on like MSNBC and CNN, and his throat is like twitching. It seriously looks like gills, and you're like, that is not natural. Like, that dude's an actual reptilian. But all that to say, you've got the actual Bond villain sitting there two chairs over, where you've got Tony Blair literally saying, we're going to do everything we can, essentially implying to make sure that this CEO, this guy that is injecting you with artificial intelligence, Q dots, quantum computing, all sorts of ridiculous things that's going into your body, we're going to make sure that they can do this more for all different sorts of things. We're gonna continue to make up all these different pandemics, all these different things, so that way this guy can develop more technology in order to inject into your body. And guess what? We're gonna keep track of it. We're gonna make sure that you are getting vaccinated. Otherwise, you're gonna be on our list. You're not gonna be able to travel. You're not going to be able to have a business. And guess what? We're going to be able to shut off your money because everything's going to be cryptocurrency. And, guess what? There's no tangible money. So we can just, with a flip of a switch, shut down your bank account and make sure that you cannot participate in the economy. That's where all of this is going. And it all comes back to power and control and making sure that these elites can make every single decision about every single aspect of your life.
Get the whole story on Red Voice Media Premium using the link below, completely uncensored and ad-free.